Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight we have a special guest with us. We have Martin van Drunen of the Dutch metalers Asphyx. Welcome to the show, Martin.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jet. It's good to be on it.
So, Martin, I was going to say, Asphyx been around a long time, and you had a new album coming out on Century Media Records called Incoming Death. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, but the inception of the band happened almost 30 years ago. Now, lineup changes, breakups, tragedies, everything that could possibly happen to a band has happened to Asphyx, yet the band still perseveres. What is it about Asphyx that keeps people so interested, Martin?
I guess just our plain simplicity and brutality, I guess that's just it. What we like ourselves, in fact, as well. So, we're just... we're just like a non-compromising band, and we always deliver the goods. And it's with us, it's like when we make an album, the first thing we think about is not to disappoint our fans. So, whatever they get from us, they just we know they're going to like it. So I guess that's what it is. And of course, we put metal as a kind of music on the first place, being a live kind of music. So on stage, we just give it all we have all the time, and people that see us live and come to the shows, they know that from us. So I think, that's a bit of the essence, and having a shitload of, good fun everywhere we go.
No, even you yourself, Martin, have a pretty impressive career. I mean, being in bands, Pestilence, Bolt Thrower, Hail of Bullets, Grand Supreme Report, just goes on and on forever. Are you still involved with a bunch of bands, or is Asphyx now like your main concern going on now?
That's the main one, definitely. Yeah, that's really the main one. I mean, I have still with Alvin, but we put it a little bit on the shelves first because this album now is really, of course, as priority. Mm-hmm. But Alvin and me are still out in Grand Supreme Blood Court, and he has a few songs ready. But we take it on like really easy with that. Maybe somewhere in end of this year. No, well, I don't even think end of this year because we're almost there already. but maybe like somewhere in next year. But that's going to be everything all because. I noticed for myself as well. I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on you, if you're in several bands and, you have to, you make like good albums, but, you always have to come up with new song titles. You have to sometimes deal with bloody 30 tracks, on your plate all of a sudden, from people like, hey, Martin, how about this song? How about that song? You're like, okay, it's just too much. And then you have to do the practicing. You have to learn all the lyrics out of your head. You have to do all the shows. And then one day you have a show with that band. The other show the other day you have a show with that band. So now I got okay. And I also feel a lot. I feel best when I'm with Asphyx. I'm most comfortable with those guys, really. That's the main family, let's put it that way.
So what is the current lineup now of Asphyx, Martin?
It's Alvin Zuur on bass, it's me on the throat, Paul Byens on guitar, and Stefan Huskens on drums.
All right, so we're here today, like I had mentioned earlier, to talk about the new album, Incoming Death, releasing on September 30th via Century Media Records. Now, your last release was Death Hammer in 2012, and now I read somewhere that you more or less picked the name out years ago for this album. Now, did you have some kind of preconceived notion about what you wanted the new one to sound like and be like lyrically before you even started writing it?
No, that's not it. But it's always easy to... No, that's not it. It's just that after Death Hammer, I realized, guys, it could be cool to try, to maintain that always have the word like death in some kind of an album title. Mm-hmm. Kind of I don't know, put like a kind of a tradition or a gimmick or something. But, and of course it fits us. But with this, I would just, straight after Death Hammer, I just had this idea and I passed it on to the boys and they said, okay, this is cool. So you have at least like a kind of a working title. As soon as you have... any kind of music coming in, you have a little folder, on your PC somewhere, or where you go, like, okay, Incoming Death, so like, all right, all the new material I can find there is like easy to work with. But it was also my intention really to use it, But yeah, indeed, I think that title was already like, in my head like 4 years ago. But without anything else, just that, Okay. No music, no ideas, nothing. Just that.
Okay, so all right, because talking about the album and the lyrics, now what is the album about lyrically? I mean, what themes do you explore with this album?
The usual aspects, huh? There's a couple of songs that deal about the gore horror, ironic kind of or sarcastic kind of humor stuff. Mm-hmm. Like okay, throw the intestines and all the shit like through the room. There's a few songs that deal about war. I think there's a science fiction song on it. There's some natural disaster or catastrophe. I guess I covered it there. Yeah, and there's one. Yeah, that deals about a bit about death, but yeah, that's what they all deal about. In fact, really, when it comes to that,
So with all this stuff that you've been going throughout these past couple of years with all your different bands, how long did it actually take you to write this whole entire thing?
Because the thing is, we had to work Husky and the drummer first because Bob left the band, and that took us quite a while because he lives. He's German, and all the rest of us are Dutch, and he lives quite far away from us. So, the thing is, the problem is that we face is we could not just call each other and go like, hey, let's just go into the rehearsal room tonight, and jam a bit. So that we really had to plan that kind of stuff. And as we have a really, extensive repertoire when we play live, I mean, we really have, I don't know, about 30 songs that we could just play on stage every night to choose from. So we wanted Husky to have that in his head first. And then start thinking of writing new material. So that took all a while, Mm-hmm. Like first you start, okay, you have a few shows coming, but those shows only were on festivals where you play 1 hour. So there you have to, learn maybe like 13 or 15 songs. But then after we had some headline shows coming up that take longer, like 90 minutes or 2 hours, depends on, on how long we want to play or the crowds. So there he learned more after that. And then I think from... Well, maybe really the songwriting process of this whole album and everything, to finish it all, I think 1.5 or 2 years ago, I guess. Which is actually a normal time, I think, for between any albums. But yeah, it was a kind of a setback when Bob left.
And now you're speaking about Husky being your new drummer, and this is the first album that he's on. How do you think he has adapted to the band, and what has he added to this new album?
He didn't have to adapt at all, He was just he was a brother from the start. Mm-hmm. I mean that's also why we picked him, because we knew he was a fan of the band. We weren't looking for the best drummer in the world, And he knows he's not the best drummer in the world. Sorry, Husk, but he knows that, and he's a big fan of the band. In fact, at the beginning, he says, "Look, I don't even want to join you guys because I want to see you guys from the audience, and not. I don't want to watch your backs." Being on the drum kit. So then Bob said to him like, "Well, you're the only one I want to pass my sticks on to. So you have no choice." But from that moment on, I mean, he's just he's really like one of us. And he also said that like the way that we treated him and that we let him join us. He said like I immediately felt like at home with the guys. And also with the coolest thing was being I say that, like the personal atmosphere was fantastic and fitted really good. And then when he and Paul started jamming, then he actually thought the same as Bob. When Paul comes up with a riff, he knew exactly what kind of tempo to drum with it. So that was the extra bonus that we had as well. So there was no real change. So it was just really natural the way he rolled in, and he was thinking. And so his contribution, I mean, he sometimes he does his kind of typical Bob things because he goes, it was just, I'm a fan of the band in the first place, but he also puts a little bit of himself into it, as any musician would probably do.
Sure, yeah. He puts his own little drumming style into it, but then that made it a lot easier for you guys that he just fit in so naturally.
Yeah, but we knew that. I mean, he was the only one that we could think of, that would consider it as an honor and to play in Asphyx with pride, and that was exactly the person that we were looking for. The only thing and that was our luck also a bit, that his band Disaster was taking it a bit easy because, of course, we didn't want to take that drummer away because they're good friends of ours,
right.
But yeah, he's the guitar player from them, Kushka. He got daddy as well, so he says, okay, time to spend a little bit more time with my kids instead of continuously being on stage. That's just not being like good fatherhood, really. And
just listening to this album again, just before I called you, it's so well produced and it's so clean. So where did you guys record it, and who did the final master on this?
Well, the final master as always is Dan Swano.
Mm-hmm.
He did our album since we call it resurrected, you know, and it's a pleasure to work with him. He understands us. He knows what we're all about. My bonus is that he likes my voice from the start, so I don't have to do anything with it. I can just send the shit to Dan and he'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. But the other things, especially this time the guitar and the bass sound, Alvin and Paul really put a lot of work together and hours into it with Dan to make it as good as it is now, and still that it sounds like Asphyx, it sounds like us. So all those credits for that go out to the boys and to Dan. And I think they spent in total like maybe 2 weeks with this Dan mix. Wow.
Yeah, well, it paid off because it sounds great. The production is great. Everything just sounds so good. And Martin, the album art is awesome as well, as always. Now, personally, I really like this one because every time I look at it, I keep looking at each embedded character in the art. So tell us about the artist and the cover art.
Well, just like Dan Swano is always there for us with the mixing, it's Axel Herman who always does our covers, from the very start also. So, because, we were a band with tradition and loyalty, and they are like the 5th and the 6th members of the band. And so all I did was I passed on the album title to Axel and said to him, like, this is a little bit what I had in mind with it. And of course, they just think our music and just go ahead, And then he came up first with, the biggest skull on it, and then the guy said, okay, maybe just a little bit of things around it, and he goes, okay, so this is the main death kind of skull, and then spitting forth these kind of tortured souls, whatever. So that was his interpretation of the album title, and I think it fitted absolutely well.
Okay, I did too. Now, Martin, is there going to be a booklet of some sort with the CD, and where there'll be additional art in that as well?
Not from Axel, really.
Okay.
Not that I think of. He did put a few skizzes to use, and I'm not sure if we did use it because I haven't, the artwork we have is only on like PDF stuff also, because the album is officially not even printed or out. What we do have though is I think with the vinyl there is a poster of the artwork with it. Mm-hmm. So in the inner sleeve of the vinyl, so you can actually fold that out and you got a big poster of it on the wall. I think.
Oh, that'll be cool. So it's definitely coming out in vinyl as well as CD. Now, is there going to be like special packages besides the one you just mentioned and all that kind of stuff? Would you assume?
Yeah, definitely. There will be the usual CD. There will be, and I think for America there will be a Digipack. Mm-hmm. And for Europe they have like a kind of a media book.
Nice.
So and the media book will contain 2 like bonus DVDs with shows of Brutal Assault and Hellfest on that live. So and they have some Death Hammer live tunes on it which are never released before. So and of course there's a shitload of vinyl coming out too. The cool thing about like the usual vinyl, just the black one, will be this time unlimited, and I'm really pleased with that.
Oh, that's
because
nice.
There's a lot of other kinds of, I don't know which kind of colors. There will be kind of a winter camouflage, and I don't know, you know what they are like, to have all these like special goodie things, So but there will be a lot,
So that's good. We're looking forward to that because I like vinyl myself because I just like it because it's big and you could hold it in your hands and you could see everything and just the colors and everything like that. I don't even have a record player anymore. I just like I just like the vinyl.
Yeah, true. I grew up with vinyl, so
me too.
I actually, I had to experience the whole introduction of this CD, and I was really disappointed as a kid. Like, what the hell is this? I can't really see the covers. Mm-hmm. I can hardly read the lyrics. What the hell is this crap? I was not pleased. So I'm double pleased about this so-called revival of vinyl. Really, it's really nice.
Me too. And that's funny you mentioned that, Martin, too, because I felt the same way when CDs started coming out. I'm like, what is this cheap thing?
Exactly. It looks so bloody cheap, and you have to pay the same. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And then you drop the cover somewhere, like on a hard floor, and then bam, it was just crap. Really. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for the people that love it, really, but vinyl is.
CDs save more space, I guess, but that's about it.
Yeah, guess.
No, Martin. Usually with every new album that a band has out, they proclaim it to be their best one ever. Now, do you think this is your best one ever, and why?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, I always say, like you said, any band will say that, because why the hell are you promoting your latest album and not say it's the best? Like, no. Our previous album is better than this one. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense, you know? But no, I mean, in this case, it is really. It really is. And it's also because we knew it was very, very difficult to at least equalize Death Hammer in tracks and, in their production. So our main thing was actually the main intention was at least to at least like equalize it. And later on, after we finished everything with the mixing, we thought, well, I think we topped it. We even topped it, and we never thought we could actually do that, you know, as a band. So that's why I'm double pleased. So, but why is it better than Death Hammer? I think because it has more variety in it on the songs in total. Mm-hmm. I mean, Death Hammer overall has more faster tracks on it, and this one has tracks with all kinds of paces. You know, it's really slow doom tracks, a space with there's tracks with like a kind of a heavy metal hard rock pace. Mm-hmm. But there's also really fast tracks, and I think that's the difference between Death Hammer also. And we did a few things of which we thought like, okay, this is maybe a bit daring for what we do, like the melody things on Grand Denial, what Paul did. Mm-hmm. Maybe these specific outros, like the acoustic guitar one or the piano. Mm-hmm. But after the first reactions we have now, it turned out really well. And then the guys also improved the sound overall with them. I mean, Death Hammer had this kind of high pitched thing, and this is overall in total is warmer. It's wider. It's I don't know. It's in total the sound is just really better. So I think for that, it's the best album we did.
And it sounds really great, and I know what you're talking about when you say it has that warmer type of a sound to it. It's just produced so well. And what kind of touring are you guys going to be doing in support of the album?
Well, we never are a touring band in the first place. Mm-hmm. We play as much as we can, like weekend-wise. Mm-hmm. But most important now for us is the two release shows coming up, because that's what we really want to make it two like really special shows, because playing all the new material as much as we can, because normally, for example, many times we do play festivals, but festivals only give you 50 or 60 minutes to play. Mm-hmm. And with the total repertoire that we have, we still have to play the older material, so you can't put that many new songs into the set, as a lot of people will want to hear the old songs too. So I'm hoping, and it's also a bit that we're aiming for, a lot of headlining shows, on clubs, and so we can play 90 minutes or 2 hours. And also we're working on a few more shows on the North American, in the USA really.
Oh, nice.
Because until now we only played Maryland.
Right.
And, and so we're trying to set something up. And we aim for April, but it has also, it's also a bit depending on the holidays of the guys, because they really have to plan that.
Right.
But okay, we're going to try, because last year we did South America, 10 days, which was incredibly intense and fantastic. So now we go, okay, just a little bit up north, and then the US fans can really check us out instead of having just 1 hour in the Maryland, which is different. Wow.
Well, looking forward to that. And where can people go? Or what sites do you have so we can find out what's going on as far as you guys with tours and what's going on with the band? What are the best sites to go check that out on?
That's the official Asphyx Facebook. Mm-hmm. I think it's Asphyx official Facebook something. Yeah. I'm not that big of a social media freak myself, because if I would have a Facebook on my own, then I'd probably be like 24 hours a day long. People like messaging me, and I was okay, I wouldn't be even able to write songs or read books or whatever. So we have that one as a band. And Alvin is actually the one together with Husky that puts updates that stuff and keeps a little bit of contact with the people and thanks them all that stuff. So I think it's the Facebook one.
All right. Well, Martin, thank you very much for taking the time out to come in the show to talk about the new album and what's going on with you guys, and all the best to you and Asphyx.
Thank you very much, Jet, and you have good luck with the Metal Messiah Radio, and hopefully all the US fans will like the album. So curious to hear about that. Always exciting, really.